Communication issues with family and a relationship. That's really important. I wanted to talk to you guys about that this week as well. Forgive me for bouncing all around. I do come back, and it's all very, very important. So these things may seem like no big deal, especially if you're either neurotypical or if you are neurodivergent, but since we're all so vastly different, there's not just this spectrum with autism. And it's funny because the word spectrum can mean, I want to say, like 2 different things. I feel like, yes, it used to be more and less. That's how they used to think of the spectrum, high functioning, low functioning, and we don't use those terms anymore because it can be hurtful for a couple of different reasons. And if you're new to learning about that, there are lots of content creators who are in the neurodivergent community who focus primarily on autism and can help you understand that. So they would probably be better to explain that than me, because I'll go into a side quest and I'll totally get off. Okay, so re-anchoring back to where we were. Oh, and if you're new to learning about it, there's a couple that I would recommend to start that I think are pretty good. There's one I haven't seen too much of, but I like him. I feel like he's really clever. It's Autistic-matic. He's pretty funny and clever. I like him. There's the autistic gentleman, Mike. He is so cool. He works, I'm getting sidetracked already. I'm catching myself. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud right now. You can tell I'm waking up later today because the sun's like coming out and shining on my face, which is actually really good because it's getting to be that time of year where I live in the north and I tend to get seasonal affective disorder. I struggle with, one of my comorbidities is depression, and it is something I have to manage. So that is also different for everybody who has it. That's a whole nother can of worms, another conversation, and a whole different, yeah. There's so many different ways that manifests for different people and different kinds of brain chemistry issues when it comes to mood disorders. Even just within one. So you got, like, not to go down a rabbit hole, but bipolar, and major depression and all of these different things. Even within one category, it can manifest differently for different people. But I'm already losing my thoughts. So executive functioning issues. I was trying to think of, like, I wish I could create some kind of video that would be a simulator. Any children from the 80s? Do we have anybody from, this is actually nice lighting. Do we have anyone from the 80s who has watched videos, old movies? Do you guys remember an old, try not to fall because I did just wake up, old video, Christopher Walken, I think it was called Brainstorm. Look who I just found! Hey, baby. A little kitten. Hey, baby. Hello. Bloop, bloop. Are you sleepy? Boop. I didn't know she was up there. Hi. She's getting so big, guys. All right. I wasn't going to have... tripping over things. I'm definitely going to have to edit this. I don't have time. So, let me get a notebook out. So how do we even describe, to people who've never heard of executive functioning, how do you describe it? So basically ADHD is not about attention. Attention management, whether it is the lack of attention because now your attention has been distracted, or hyperfocus, which you can't pay attention to anything else besides the task you're doing, is a symptom of a much bigger issue, which is executive functioning. And executive functioning is huge. It's huge. You need it for almost every single task you do. So imagine something that's a basic function that you need to do everything from deciding what groceries you need to buy to the steps to getting ready for work in the most efficient way. Going through your list of things to do and not knowing which to pick. Forgive me for shaking this. I'm fixing my sweater. Now, if this part of your brain that we never talk about, I didn't know what executive functioning was until I learned about it. I mean, such a weird name, right? It's something that we take for granted. And if you can just do it, you're like, you look fine to me. And then if you're the person who has the struggle, you have no idea. You feel insane. So it is determining what's the most important thing. And then the planning for determining the most efficient steps to do that most important thing. So it's actually a series of prioritizing, right? So that plus one thing that's very interesting about the particular neurodivergent struggles that I have, and if you have ADHD, not all people with ADHD are the same. You have primarily hyperactive, and those people may not have to deal with being distracted as much, lost in thought as much. Theirs might be because they're impatient, and it's like a motor running, and they always have to do a million things. Then you have primarily inattentive, which you can see is me. I sound very hyper because I get excited when talking to you guys about stuff or when I'm meeting people. I am very genuine, and I love to talk to people, and I love to help people. And you wouldn't know that I'm very introverted, but the next day I will probably be in bed. And I only worked a 5-hour shift, 6-hour shift yesterday. Why this happens to me is still a mystery, and it has to do with masking, which is in itself a whole nother conversation. Hold on, let me pause this. So, in an attempt to control my thoughts here that are already going every which way. So, I really have to get that stand. What did I want to talk to you guys about this week? I want to talk to you because I want to start doing content again, and I would like it to be interactive if possible. I was thinking that I want to start doing lives. I'd like to meet once a week,